What did Jerry just say? An N scale layout. Here? At the Fultz Bailey Model Railroad? I don't know. But it seems like what everybody's doing these days. Everybody's going dual scale. You got HO, you got N scale. Figured I'd give it a shot. So I hooked up with my boy Jerry. He's going to help me out on this project. We're going to take an old coffee table and convert it into an N scale layout that I can have right here in my production studio. Join me on the adventure. Check out this first episode, and I'll see you at the end. Hey guys, Rick back here. No, this is not the Fultz Bailey Railroad. We're down here at Jerry's shop hanging out because Jerry's going to help me out with a project. I'm sure that you've seen his video by now that came out. Jerry's helping me with a table, I guess you would call it a renovation.
Yeah.
So I had an old coffee table that my wife no longer wanted, but I got the thought in my head and said, hey, you know, that would be great to put an N-scale layout under. So I brought the table down here to Jerry, and Jerry's going to teach me a couple things about woodworking, some sanding, some painting, and we're actually going to build some things into it and change the construction, and we're going to make the table work. So Jerry's already done some work for me because he got bored, and he sanded it down. And now he left the hard stuff for me, because I got it. So, Jerry, I got all these curves and everything that I got to do. And I know you did yours with the machine, right? Yep. But I can't use the machine on these.
That'd be harder, yeah.
Right. And I don't want to, I don't want to, I think the fear was that the machine would change, it would start scuffing into the edges, and it would change the profile of the table, right?
Yeah, we're just painting this, so I mean, we just need to scuff up the surface. We don't need to go down the bare wood to restain, or we're not restaining nothing. We're just covering everything. And the only reason why this is this way is I wanted to get all these nicks out that were in the table. And it's hard to see, but you can kind of see them. Wherever you see the brown spots are deeper nicks.
Right.
I just didn't get out. You know,
and that's fine. It'll get covered with paint.
No big deal. So that's the only reason why this is like this. Otherwise, it would be more like this, just scuffed up.
Right. So I don't have to take it down to this. I just have to go give it just enough that the paint will grab, right?
Yeah. And really, you just need to do it here. A little bit here where I couldn't fit a sander.
Okay.
You know, a little bit in here, but nothing too drastic. It shouldn't take you that long.
And I'm not using a machine. I'm using a sanding block, 120 grit.
120 grit.
And a lot of elbow grease.
Yeah, a little bit. Not enough.
So I got 2 legs to do, and I've got the top to do.
Right.
And there actually was a shelf in the middle here, but we're doing away with that. Because we're going to put a whole new shelf in, a whole new piece of wood, and we're going to add a drawer to it. Right. And the drawer is going to be for storage for all the locomotive and car boxes and whatever material else I want to keep in there. And then on top of that shelf, if you can imagine from right about there, is where the N-scale layout will be. And yeah, at some point, what I'll do is I'll throw in a picture right here that will show you the table as it was before we began sanding it. Mm-hmm. And then hopefully by the end of this video, you'll see the results of the sanding. And I don't know if we're going to have time for paint, but we'll see. Yeah. We'll see. So, yeah, we're gonna get the coffee flowing and the sanding going. We're going to kick ass. All right, we're going to speed this up, and I'm going to do some hard work around here. Jerry's going to put on a pot of coffee, and we're going to go from there.
Yeah.
So hang tight and watch us work. All right, I think
you're good.
I think that's it for this one. Let me get this brushed off and I'll have you inspect it. All right, how'd I do, Jerry?
Looks pretty good, Rick. You're doing a good job. Keep it up.
Awesome. So
You're almost done.
almost there.
Yeah, almost.
So we don't have to remove everything down to bare wood.
No.
We're just scuffing it up so it takes paint, right?
Right, yeah. And like if you're going to paint it, right, some people would just say, oh, I'll just scuff it. No, you just clean it and like, don't worry about it. But like, you know, you want it to last and you want to do a good job, so, you know, you need to do these things. You need to clean it. You need to get all the grime and gunk off of it and then sand it, scuff it up, and you know, because it's just going to make your final process better.
See, now there were some tips and tricks that you showed me while I was doing a simple job of sanding that I would have never thought of.
Right.
And this is why sometimes you just have to talk to an expert. Because I wouldn't have known. You know what I would have probably done? I would have probably taken this thing out on my deck and I would have probably painted it the way it was, and it would have turned out like crap. But
it would have worked. It would have got paint on it. Whether or not it stayed on it through the years,
it would have never lasted.
You know, because one of the things with milk paint, and when anytime you paint furniture that's pre-finished, like in this case, your job, the paint outcome is only going to be as good as your prep work before you start painting.
Right.
It's just the way it is with everything. You know, if you don't do a good job prepping your walls, your drywall walls in your house before you paint, you know, if you just start painting over cobwebs and greasy fingerprints, and then your paint's not going to last, right? Your paint's not going to stick. So you need to do the prep work to and it's not that much. You know, it's not that much to do.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, so I've got another leg to do and another top to do. So I'm not going to keep you guys around for that. I'll cut the video here and we'll pick back up when everything is done. I'm going to get back to sanding. Jerry, how about you pick up some lunch?
Okay, I'll go pick up some lunch.
All right, we'll be back in a bit. All right, shaky cam for a minute. So now we got the table all sanded down, and there's these two side pieces that were supposed to go in here to keep the table stabilized from wobbling, but this is actually going to obstruct the view of the railroad. So what Jerry and I are going to do is we're going to cut these down so that we can still use the two bolted sides to keep it stable, but the middle section we don't need. So let's go over to the table saw and we'll see how that's done.
So basically, right, this tells you where you're cutting, right? Keep your hands out here, right?
Sled, yep.
Like that, right?
Yep.
So you're going to line this line up with this line, right? Because you're going to be on this side of your cut, right?
Right.
You got it?
Yep.
You see what's happening?
Yep.
Okay. So hold it. Turn it on. So like you could say, okay, I want to go a little bit more, right? So you could just creep it over. And you're right there.
That's it.
Right?
Yeah, look, maybe that's what it's doing.
Yeah, so now this one, you're kind of like on the other one.
Yep.
Right? So it's too long, right? So just take it, strap on right there, right? And then do the same, right? So
right.
You're going to be on, this is the saw curve,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it's going to cut on either side of that line.
Right.
So you kind of want to line up that line with this line.
Okay.
And then like I did before, like if you're not right on, just check it and then creep it over, right?
Yep.
Just creep it over like this, right? So you want to feel what it feels like?
Yeah, I've used a table saw, but never a sled.
That's nice because it's, so like, yeah, keep your hands, just keep your, this is where like the back of the blade's going to come out, right?
Yeah.
All right, so you don't want to be like close to it,
Mm-hmm.
but you want a hold of it, so
yeah,
feel comfortable, right?
Yeah. Sounds good.
You there?
Yeah.
And then like you could like use your leg and push this in,
Okay.
All right, are you recording now?
Yeah, go for it.
Good. Kick it off. Throw your strap back there. There you go. So did you mark it or no?
No.
Are you going to use this again? Or, I mean, you can just cut it now, right?
Yeah, I mean,
If
I'm
you're
pretty much just
comfortable.
cutting
Yeah.
on that line anyway. So I can cut it wide and then
However you want to pull up.
pull up.
That's
All right.
okay.
So what I did was, this one we cut perfectly square. This one I'm a little off on. I left a little bit extra. So it's a little different of a cut. Well, it's fixing a screw up.
Not really.
There we go. Perfect. Cool. All right.
So there's a couple ways you could go about this, right? This is a wide blade. It's not going to do a big radius, right?
Right.
So like you can lob off a lot of it and then just creep up on it.
Okay.
And then save some and then you can sand it. Right?
Okay.
And just keep your hair. You're kind of like controlling it like that, right?
Yep.
So I mean, you could just sand that. But basically, that's it. Now and then you're going to be different this way, so you're going to put it this way.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's safe. I mean, just keep your hand away from it. Don't try to do this or nothing. Right?
Okay. Yeah.
And it's okay if you don't go as far in the first time. You know?
Okay.
However many times it takes you. save the line. Yeah.
So what I'm using is just a cap from a shaker bottle, and that's what I used to draw the template for the curve that we're going to keep on this piece. That's what's going to come off. Green button.
Okay. This is my shop, Rick.
Yeah?
And where do things go?
They all go back where they came from.
Exactly, Rick.
Yeah. Yep.
I'll take them, you take your camera.
Okay. Now that's MDF in the middle, right?
Yeah, it's
With just a veneer on top.
Veneer on both sides.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
why it was so easy to cut through.
Yeah, it's easy to cut through.
Just means it was a fake table.
Pretty much.
Just when I thought I was done sanding. Okay. So you're not removing the color. You're removing the shine on the piece to make it dull so the paint sticks.
You look like a real woodworker, Rick.
Jerry, that's why they call me the tree.
Although I think if some of your tree family friends, your tree family saw you now, they'd be horrified.
We don't talk about that, Jerry.
How's that looking, Rick?
I love it.
You're sweating, Rick.
Hard work, Jerry.
You can use the other elements. Yeah, I can see it's hard work. I thought trees didn't sweat.
Yeah, we do. It's sap. Or as the Canadians know it, maple syrup.
That's pretty good.
Flip it. Solid.
I think it's pretty good, man.
Yeah, and then by the time we put the actual shelf in,
Yeah, that'll
give us more.
I kind of like it. Yeah.
See, that didn't turn out too bad.
You happy with it? Huh?
Yeah, I love. Yeah. I see possibilities.
What
I
are
like
they?
No, just the way it's all coming together. I mean, it was a scraggly, scratched up piece of crap. Not a piece of crap, but it was.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's a well-used
It was well used for 10 years.
piece of furniture.
It's furniture for 10 years,
And
now
a great
it's
piece of furniture.
now it's getting repurposed.
So you're going to repurpose it, recycle it.
All right, Jerry.
Good job, Rick.
It's been a hell of a day, man. I'm tired.
I know, it's
I'm
time
tired.
to go home.
I think I need some icy hot or something on these elbows, brother.
I share mine with you, but I need it.
All right, so the table's back together. The table is sanded. What's next?
We're going to build the shelf.
Right, the shelf. Right.
Build the drawer.
Right. So we're gonna have a shelf down to the bottom here, down by where these rungs are, and then there's gonna be a drawer underneath.
Drawer underneath.
Right.
Yep.
And then on top of that is where we're gonna build.
Like a module.
It's like like a module. That's a very good way to put it. So it's gonna be a module in a box, like a 1x4 or something like that. Box that's removable, and that's where the layout will sit in. On the next episode.
Yeah.
So we're going to do shelf,
Yep.
we're going to do
Shelf.
drawer, and we'll build the box.
Right.
And then at that point it's just paint,
Right.
and the table can leave.
Yeah.
And then the layout will begin.
Exactly.
Dun, dun, dun. Stay tuned. As always, rail riders, let's continue to ride these rails together. We'll see you.